Morning, YouTube. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I am headed off to my meeting this morning, for some spiritual nourishment, because the body needs that. But as I'm headed to my meeting, I wanted to talk to you guys, especially the new guys that are either just getting their insurance license or you're considering getting into the insurance business. I want to talk to you about insurance renewals, passive income. And I think it's important to discuss this because in anything you do, you want to get the most for your money, correct? If you go and work for corporate America, you're going to negotiate a great salary, but you're also going to try to negotiate some stocks, some retirement, some options, because you're looking for the best option for yourself. Insurance residuals, when I first started selling insurance 20 years ago, at 25 years old, my manager upline really didn't take their time to explain to me how this worked. I mean, they mentioned to me, after I get my commission, if the client stays paying, I would get a renewal. But it didn't really make sense. And for me, I came from a construction and restaurant business background, so I had no clue that this was even possible. So what does that mean? You see, with insurance commissions, your first year, you're going to get a nice commission for selling that policy. It's an advance, so you get a big check up front. But after that first year, every single month, that client pays their premium. That's why you want to write good quality business. You get a thank you check, a small percentage that at first doesn't seem like much, but as time goes by, it starts building out. So there I was, 25 years old. My first year, I grossed $113,000. Never in my life had I done that kind of money. The year before that, I was in the restaurant business with my father, and the most I ever made was $40,000, and that was back in 2000, literally 23 years ago. So I went from making $40,000 to grossing $113,000 my first year. So I was totally ecstatic. And I wasn't going anywhere. And after that first year, I noticed that one month I got a check in my bank, a deposit. And right off the top, I couldn't recognize where the deposit came from because I hadn't submitted applications for it to justify. I didn't get a bonus, so it wasn't nothing of that matter. And basically what it was, to my surprise, it was my first pay-through residual check from the carrier that I work for. And it was roughly over $1,000. Wow. That $1,000 was so powerful for me because I knew that it could only grow from there. And that's right. That $1,000 turned into $1,100, $1,200, $1,400, $1,600. And as the years went by, that residual income got bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, with passive income, you are being paid for effort that you did years ago. So it's not contingent on you doing anything. It's not required that you have to follow up. As long as the client pays, you will see that thank you check. That right there changed the game for me forever. And here I am 20 years later, and every single month from the year that I started, I have seen a thank you check from the carriers that I've represented over the years. For the last decade, my biggest pay-through check, residual check, has come from my friends at Senior Life. Senior Life every single month pays me my renewals. I share that with you because it's something that I think is very important, because a lot of new guys really never stop and think about that. But it's important because you're building towards your future. Here I am at 45 years old, and I have a residual check that kicks in every single month. And if I get sick, if I die, or if I had just decided to retire, that residual component would pay every single month to eventually, when the clients die out, claims are paid, eventually it dwindles out. But that is true passive income. I know people in the industry that make $1 million a month in passive income from renewals. Others that are doing 100,000, 200,000. So as big as you want to be, you can be. But here's the kicker. This type of compensation is going to take you time to build. And it's going to require you to sell applications. So you got to go out there and sell. You got to write good business, because no carrier is going to pay you renewals if your business is garbage, and they shouldn't, because they're losing money on that. They shouldn't pay. A lot of people don't understand that insurance companies are heavily capitalized in your commissions and my commissions, and it takes some years before they start seeing a return. So the key is to write quality business that stays on the books, to see your renewals. It took me a year, and I started on a smaller compensation, smaller residuals, but I focused my first year in making sure that I was selling 20 to 40 applications a month, and it worked. So with that said, I hope that this information helps you. If you're still uncertain about what I'm talking about, send me a message, give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to, share with you my story, not someone else, my story. Because having renewals makes it work when you have rainy days. Think about how many times you've been in a situation where you were just under the weather and you couldn't work. Well, in sales, and any other type of business that's sales oriented, if you don't sell, you don't eat. Now, I'm building my block of business with Senior Life, and I was working with a few other carriers. But now I'm exclusive building a Senior Life block for my retirement, as I'm looking to retire in the next 5 to 10 years. And I want to do that with Senior Life. Why? Because I know from experience myself that Senior Life pays. Now, some of you might say, well, all carriers pay. Yes, they have to pay because it's a contract. But how many times have you been in circumstances where the carriers don't pay renewals? Or their vesting period is 2 years or 10 years? Now that's an issue. So look up Senior Life, check them out. They're a carrier out of South Georgia. Their specialty is final expense insurance. They pioneered TELESALES. In fact, I credit Ron and Senior Life for showing me how to pick up the phone so many years ago and really striking that fire in me to push TELESALES. And now I'm back with Senior Life doing the same thing. So I hope this information helped you guys. Please give me a call. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Peace.